wherever you are in the world. Thank you for popping in. It's Sunday, which means it's Ask Susan Sunday, the place to be every Sunday for all your questions. I just want to acknowledge and just so grateful for all of you. We've been playing with these questions for about 4 years now. And thank you for spreading the word, for tapping in, for sharing it with your friends. Again, just wanted to acknowledge you. And it's because of you that we're here every Sunday, that I'm here every Sunday with your questions. We've been playing with creation. And one of the big things that I've noticed is people are worried about what if they don't create? What if they can't create? What if it changes, right? So today we're going to be playing with what is it that you're asking for? What is that big hunger inside of you? And what does it take to actually start playing with it now, to create now? Yeah. So just waiting for you all to pop on in. Tag a friend if you're part of the Ask Susan community and you know they should be on here. Get them on here. Tag them. Pop in. And let's see what we can create together. Because you know what they say, where two or more are gathered, there is more. There's always more. I'm playing with you from Vermont, back into the snows and the shoveling and the winter boots and loving it all. It's so beautiful here. And I hope wherever you are, you're having an amazing day for yourself or evening or morning. So let's go. One of the biggest things that I see with clients calling in, with all of you popping in, is there's that worry, right? What if? Well, when we go to the what ifs, we're not actually in the now. We're not actually willing to be present with what we are creating, with the seeds that we've been planting, right? Because everything you've done and been and gone through has got you to where you are now, right? So it's about creating with that highest energy, right? What is that energy that is, hey, Julie? What is that energy that has been tugging at you, that is there for you, that you actually have to commit now to playing with, to creating with, right? So all of those dreams of, oh, I want to be this, and if I could be that, and I'm trying to be this, well, none of that has to do with being totally present with what you are creating and how you are creating. Hey, Rosanna, welcome, welcome. People are popping in. Yay! Tell us where you're from. We've got a huge global community here. And it's always fun to see where people are popping in from. And again, if you know somebody you should be on this, tag them. Tell them to get on in here. And what questions do you have about creating? Good morning, Rosanna. You know, for myself, the awareness is if I want it to be, I have to actually be with it, right? Hey, Marguerite, welcome. If I want whatever I'm creating to be in my future, to be in my world, I actually have to be with it. Yeah. Yeah. So that idea of, hey, Maureen, welcome. That idea of, putting your visions in front of you. Well, you actually have to be part of that. Yeah. Hey, Julie, welcome. You actually have to be, Julia, you have to actually be part of that. You have to be present with whatever it is that you are creating. Good morning, Julie. We've got a Julia and a Julie here. Is this making sense for people? Let me see a thumbs up or a heart. If this is where you are kind of stopping yourself, right? You can play with as many mantras, as many vision boards, as many hopes and dreams. But unless you're actually willing to be present with what you're creating. Oh, I got a heart and a thumbs up on that, right? That's where we play with what you put your energy into will be creating with you. It's like if you planted a garden and put seeds in and never watered them and never nurtured them and wondered why your garden sucks, right? Because you're not actually being present. You've done the work and then you sit back and wait. So everywhere you're sitting back and waiting for your seeds to come to fruition, are you actually willing to be present with them, right? Are you willing to commit to putting those, oh, I got a heart on that one. Are you willing to commit to putting those energies, the highest energy wins, the energy that you actually, that big hunger, right? What is that big hunger? What is it that you came here to be and do? And what energies are you putting into that, right? Because you can start doing anything. And then when you leave it, you put it over there. What are the energies that you're creating with? Yeah. Okay. Pop in with, oh, I got some hearts and thumbs up. Yay. It's always good to know I'm in the right place at the right time. And if you're watching this afterwards, please put hashtag replay so I know what's coming up. Hey, Becky, welcome, welcome. Yay. We've been talking about all March. January we talked about creating. February was more creation. What are you creating with your creations? March is about where are you putting your energies, right? What's your big hunger? And stop putting you aside. What is it? Where is it? Oh, I've got some hearts on that one. Where is it that you decided that you had to put you aside in order to create what you're asking to create? Do you see how there's a disconnect there? If I put me aside and say, well, this needs to be done, with that need, the word need, hey, Marta, welcome. There's also the lack, right? So, oh, I'm getting hearts up on that one. Yeah. So I'm asking you to really dig deep, right? Dig deep this month. And let's really look and see what it is that we bought into, that we're stopping ourselves with. Because nothing stops you. It's your choice that stops you, right? So what questions can you ask that would actually change and shift where you're going? Hey, Rupa, and how you're creating. So people are just popping on now. We're talking about, is now the time, right, to be fully present with what you are creating. Yeah, hi, Rupa. Right? Because as long as you have a point of view, as long as you have an attitude, right, that says, well, I started this and nothing happened, so I'm going to let it go, or I know it won't work. Right? Do you see you've already brought in all the energies of judgment that actually don't create anything? Hey, Mihai, how are you? Yeah. So, questions. What's popping for you with your creations? Chances are, if there's something that you're struggling with, if something you're butting up against, other people are too. And that's why I love the questions that you bring to this, because we're not alone, right? And that being truthfully honest with yourself and asking yourself about what you are creating and what isn't working, what is working, and where are you really putting your energies? If you go to fix something, it will always stay broken. Like if you have a favorite cup that you drink your coffee or your tea with, and then all of a sudden it breaks, and you glue it together because you can't let it go. So now you have a cup you have to watch out for, right? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Is it cracking again? Or you put it up on a shelf and just look at it, and it becomes a memory. Well, what is it that you're creating that you're just butting up against, that you're actually not present with? You're present with fixing it. You're not present with what's greater here for me. Where are you putting your energies into? That's my question for you today. Yeah. So what's popping for people? I'd love to hear your questions. If this is something that you don't want to share with anybody and you say, oh, Susan, I'm really having a tough time with this, go into SusanLazarHart.com, pop on private sessions. Let's have a discovery call and see what it is that is popping for you and how can I assist you. There's so many people who reach forward for those private sessions and their lives are changing. And I'm so grateful that they're willing to reach out. Yeah. And reach forward. Because that's what this is about today. That's what we're talking about today. Are you willing to be present? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Rupa. Rupa said that's beautiful. Yeah. Are you willing to be really present? Where are you putting your energies? Are you putting your energies into fixing things? Are you putting your energies into... I just had a call with somebody yesterday, and their energies were about what other people were telling them they couldn't do. What does that create? That just creates an acknowledgement of what I can't do and I can't be. Rather than, oh, well, thank you so much for that information. It actually isn't relevant because this is where I'm going. And how many of you stop yourselves from this is where I'm going? Because you stop and listen to other people's judgments, other people's complaints, other people's trying to be competitive with you, right? The only person you can compete with is actually you. So where is it you're stopping yourself, and where would you like to put your energies? That's what I'm asking you to be really gut honest with today, right? If it's not working, don't fix it. Ask what else is possible here, right? What's greater here? What is it that I'm hungry for? And does what I'm doing match that vibration? And if it doesn't, let it go. Right? Stop hitting your head against the wall. Everything changes so quickly. right? I just sent a friend of mine this article on websites. Anybody that you're saying, as soon as I get my website going, I'm going to get going. Well, just get up a one pager, right? How many people are actually willing to put themselves out there? And how many people are hiding behind their websites, hiding behind their business cards, hiding behind their life, hiding behind their living. Becky said, love it. Don't fix it. Move on. Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's like your life is in front of you. It's not behind you. Your life is in front of you. It's not behind you. Right? So, we often talk about before you go to bed at night, start acknowledging what it is you are creating, what you're being present with. Because your willingness to be present is the present to you. It's a gift to you and your life and your living and what you're creating by being present. And by being present does not mean going over everything that hasn't worked. By being present is, who am I today? And what grand and glorious adventure can I be, do, have, create, change, choose, instill, instigate, and go for? And that's the highest energy. Marta says, I'm putting my energies for things and people to, how can I change this? I'm putting my energies to fix things and people. How can I change this? Well, Marta, what's the point? I might ask you, what's the value of you being the fixer? How many of you were told, love this, Marta, thank you. Mwah. Rupa says, true. How many of you were told you're great to talk to? I can always come and talk to you. I can always come to you with my problems. So you become the vessel of other people's crap. So do you want to give that up now, Marta? And everybody else? Right? The thing is, if you're willing to be present in your life, how much time, how much money, how much value are you giving off of you in order to be the fixer-upper, right? Are they paying you to fix them, right? There is a store called Mr. Fix-It in Montreal where if something's broken, I give it to him. Either he can fix it or not. Because my time, my value, my me, my energies, my highest energies are not going towards fixing people. And it's about you valuing you. Marta says yes. Are you willing to be present? Where are you willing to put your energies? So as long as you let people know you're open for business, like the Charlie Brown, Lucy, 5 cents, open for business psychologist, right? As long as you let people know you're open for business to fix them, they're going to be coming to your door. When you start to value you might see things changing. So are you willing to be the not fixer-upper? And also what status have you given yourself as being the person who always fixes things? Right? What is your operational way of being? Are you willing to be not to be that anymore? You could ask yourself, how is fixing people working for me? Thank you, says Marta. Yeah. Right? How is being the fixer-upper working for me? Because I totally get that, Marta. There's so many people that come in with that question. And it's really a choice. What role are you taking? Because you really take the role. It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't create for you. It doesn't plant seeds. It doesn't do anything for your future. Right? Or how much are you using being a fixer-upper as a distraction? Rupa goes, yes. Right? As long as I can't get my life together. Sorry, I'm too busy fixing everybody else's. Well, what does that show other people about you? Right? I remember when I was, Rupa says, no, not working at all. I remember when I was in the art gallery business, when I was a painter, professional painter, and a friend of mine said, when you start to take yourself seriously as a painter, other people will too. So, and as soon as I did, I started showing my work. It was well received. It's the same thing. Hey, Anna, welcome. It's the same thing. As long as you take you seriously, as long as you start to value you will see that value of you, all the bullshit detectors are up and everything else just falls by the wayside, right? Yeah, you have to choose. It's your choice. What question can I ask here that would change this? Question could be, what's the value of holding on to what isn't working for me? That would be my question. And then, would you be willing to receive that information? Ooh, I got lots of hearts and thumbs up. Yeah, and now what else is possible? And that's where we're talking about. If you haven't seen it, Marta, go to the beginning of March where we're talking about the big hunger, what it is that you're asking for. What is it that you're asking for? If you enjoy being a fixer-upper, put your shingle out and charge for it. Yeah. What else is possible? Ooh, I got lots of hearts and thumbs up. Yay. Cool. A little strong talk here. For those of you who are just popping on, re-listen. There's a lot of juicy nuggets here about creating in your life. And I'm so grateful that you asked that question. Muscan, oh yes, willing to receive the information. Absolutely. Yeah, because it will turn out differently than you think, right? That's the whole thing about being present. We change and shift. We change and shift. We change and shift. What we're creating will change and shift as well. So it's about being present with that. And asking, does this match the vibration of what I'm really asking for? And is this where are you truly willing to put your highest energies in there? Yeah. Lori, awesome. Thanks, Lori. What is the value of holding on to what is not working with me? What else is possible? Yeah. And that's a really, I call it a roll up my sleeves kind of question, right? What's the value of if it's not working, it's not working. That's it. So what's the value of holding on to it? What is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? Right? My car isn't working. Is there something in the magnetic connections? Does it need gas? It's not about fixing the car. It's about asking what is required here and what is my target, right? Thank you, Rupa. Yes. Yeah. What's your target, right? What's your target? Are you willing to be totally present with your target? And that means no judgments. That means actually loving you. We haven't talked about that for a while. With all of this, it's about loving you, right? Are you willing to love you enough to be present, right? Being present with you is really loving you. Yesterday, I started a fire I didn't start a fire. I put a fire in the fireplace. Lit the fire in the fireplace, that's it. And I just kind of lay on the couch and did some reading and really... Did I get up off the couch and say, oh, I owe me 2 hours with my book, or I should have been doing this, or I have all these other things I've signed up for that I'm supposed to be following? No, that was my choice. And I'm willing to receive it. Hey, Lisa, I'm willing to receive it. Oh, I got some hearts and thumbs up on that. Yeah. Are you willing to receive you're being present, loving you enough to gift you what you're asking for, right? Yeah. Because what do you want it to say at the end of the day on your tombstone? Oh, here lies Mary Sue. She gave up her life for everybody. Right? A friend of mine just passed away, and she did an incredible amount of work for the Boy Scouts. And that really was a big hunger for her, is to be involved with the Boy Scouts. And for years and years, and in the Himalayas and everything. And she didn't give up her life. What she chose to do was to add it to her life and her living and to who she be. Right? That she had her big hunger was to give back, was to be present with the Boy Scouts in every sense of the word. And I think she died maybe in her 80s. And that to her gave her joy. She was willing to be present. Right? She didn't give up her life for anybody. That's a point of view that we take that matches this reality that says somebody has to suffer, somebody has to be a victim. Of course it's not working for you. Well, does that work for you? I would say no, or you wouldn't be on S. Susan, in part of the S. Susan community. You wouldn't be drawn to these questions and what we're playing with. Lisa, that's what's been missing. That's what's been missing, loving myself. Yeah. And hey, Jocelyn. Hey, Mirana, welcome. Lori, me as well. Gotta love and be grateful for me. Absolutely, you're first. Me first. I'm in the book that I'm writing, Fearless Every Day. One of the chapters is called Me First. And it's really about being first. When you're on the airlines and they say when the air thing comes down to grab, the mask comes down, grab it first and then put it on the kids, right? Grab it first. If you're not willing to gift you everything that you want to gift everyone else, what do you think the value of that is, right? Are you being somebody else, right? If you're not willing to love you first. Yeah. Oh, I got lots of hearts and thumbs up on that. And maybe, we'll talk about that next week. Yeah. Because that's really being present. I've been reading a lot of books recently on love and loving and just playing with different philosophies. different modalities. And really the true gift is in loving you first. You know, if you can look at yourself with eyes that appreciate you, that acknowledge you, nobody else can do that for you, right? It's your willingness to be with you every day. And thank you, body. You know, thank you, being. Thank you for these choices. There's a presence there. Do you get the gentleness of that? Yeah. Muskan, me first, loving me, taking care of me. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for this lovely conversation. Thank you, Muskan, for popping in. Jocelyn, very different than that was thought to me. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We're told don't be selfish. You know, as women, you're taught these roles that put you last. As men, you're taught these roles that put you last. Well, none of it. Roles are schmoles. Roles are what you put butter on and eat because they're yummy and they're fresh from the oven, right? Like everything else, it's not your life. It's not your reality. So this is your life. This is your reality. What legacy are you going to leave for you? Yeah. Julia, what you do when your body loves to stay in fancy hotels during the class, but you're really not, let me see, you're not really not support it. Well, ask. You know, ask from a bigger place, right? Okay, body, show me where you'd like to stay and what would it take to create the income to receive this. Now, creating the income could be asking somebody for the money. It could be looking down and seeing a lottery ticket. It could be seeing a diamond bracelet on the floor. You don't know what that is. As long as you have a point of view, Becky, fabulous conversation. Thank you, Becky. Mwah. As long as you have a point of view of how you're going to have the money to support you, you're going to support. You know how a table has legs? Well, you take the legs out and the table isn't supported. So if you're living your life looking to be supported, that means you're always going to be worried that you won't be supported. You're always going to be worried the legs are going to be pulled out from under you. Ooh. Yeah. And is there any presence in that? Right? So really, you could ask your body, is it fun to be in this class? Body, would you like to be in this class? Body, how would you like to be in this class? Right? And let the universe know. The universe is there. The universe is your buddy. Right? So if you start actually asking for whatever it is you're asking for to show up, and are you willing to be present with that? Hey, I got lots of hearts and thumbs up on that. Are you willing to be present with that, Julia? Right? Because if you're willing to be present, money follows joy, right? Are you willing to be present with all the different viable ways that there is to receive money? You know, how many viable ways are you willing to play with? Yeah. Have you already decided there's only one way, right? Yeah. Jocelyn, questions always great. Oh, thanks, Jocelyn. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And again, it's the willingness to be, Rupa says, yes. Love your yeses, Rupa. Why yes. So it's really that, again, you know, are you willing to love you enough to gift you what you're asking for? And be clear about what your ask is, right? You know, we talked yesterday, yesterday, feels like yesterday. We talked last Sunday about big asks and little asks, big hungers and little hungers. So, you know, is having the money to stay in a class in a nice hotel a big ask or a little ask? Is it a big hunger or a little hunger, right? I think there's a bigger question in there. Yeah. Julia says, thank you. Yes. Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. What's your big ask here, right? Yeah. What is it that you came here to be and do? And go for it. Highest energy wins. Go for it. Put your energy in there, right? And you'd be amazed of what else will happen. It's like the pebble in the pond. You know, here's your big ask. Here's what you're really hungry for. If you're willing to dive in and pop it into the pond of your life, of your reality, of your living, you'll be amazed what the ripples will create. Yeah. I just found out about a coaching conference I'm going to be going to. Hey, Adriana. Welcome. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I could create something for the goodie bag. And it was just while I was getting my hair cut, right? Because I'm willing to be present and ask my businesses everything what's being asked for, no matter what I'm doing or where I'm going or how I'm being, right? And I was like, oh, cool. Now I have 2 weeks. I have a target here. I have 2 weeks in order to create that. My first thing is to ask them, how do I get into that goodie bag? And how many women are coming to this conference? And what could that change for me? And I got this huge, And that's part of my big ask, which is getting out there, speaking, making a difference, showing people that there's a different way to live fearlessly, right? And what's the first step? Oh, here's a step that I wasn't even aware of last week that just popped into my reality a couple of days ago. Cool. Now what else is possible? Keeping my eye on the prize. Yeah. Anything else before we go? Thank you so much. I love your questions that you've popped in today. And for any of you just popping in, this is a re-listen, worth re-listening to. It's really about being present with what you're hungry for, right? Not putting it off into the future, not putting it off to the side, and not blaming the past, right, for whatever it is that you've decided you're stuck with or that you have to fix. Is now the time? Damn sure now's the time, because there is no other time but now. Right? It's like, yeah, what goes around comes around. If you're sitting back, waiting, and not willing to love yourself enough to dive in, that's what you'll be getting. Yeah. Rupa, thank you, Susan Lazar Hart. Thank you so much, Rupa. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, all of you. Oh, you know what, Rupa? It's so funny. I saw a picture of the class I gave in I think it was in Mumbai 6 years ago, and brought back so many wonderful memories. Yeah, I love when Facebook pops in those memories from 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Thank you, Mariana, Marguerite. Thank you, Mariana. There you go. And love to your beautiful boy. Mwah, adore you all. Write in on Ask Susan. You know, this is a conversation that keeps going. What are your big takeaways? I always pop in every day to see what people are rating. What is it that you're looking for? And if you want to dive deeper, Susan Lazar Hart, private sessions, let's get something on the books. Let's get a date up. Rupa goes, wow. You know what? Just private messaging me and playing with times and stuff, it actually doesn't work for me. If you would like to have a session with me, if you want to dive into it, I am there for you, right? You have to be there for you too. Adore you all. Thank you so much. Mwah. Love you all, and live boldly, love greatly. That means you. Love you greatly. Are you willing to love you greatly, right? And be that fearless leader that you came here to be. Because the world needs more of you, not less of you. See you next Sunday. Adore you all. Mwah. Thank you so much.